Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, presents episode 795, Limitations of Release, recorded live on August 26th, 2021. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Duststorm.
I am your other co-host, Godzilla T.
And I am your prestigious podcast guest, PrestigeAce.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Haas is not here tonight, but we do have PrestigeAce on the podcast. As one of the rewards for being a patron for over 6 months at the $10 tier. So thank you, Prestige, for all of the support that you've been giving us, and it's about time to cash in on your perk. So here you are.
Thank you very much. Oh, I'm here? Okay, well, that's good to know. I thought I was dreaming.
Yeah. Nope, you're actually here. You can pinch yourself all you want. It'll hurt.
Ow!
Or that works too. For audio listeners, he just slapped himself. Oh, geez. So we have quite a bit of Halo news to actually talk about this time around. We'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. First off, we're going to ask Prestige the two fabled questions we have on the podcast for all new guests that we have on the show. First of all, Prestige, how did you get your start in Halo?
Okay, so this is actually a really good story. I got my starting when I was 5 years old. I saw my brother. He got Halo 2 with his friend. They were playing Halo 2 multiplayer, trying to super bounce. And I begged my older brother to let me play for several hours. And he finally gave in and showed me the controls. And this is the most shocking thing. Within a few minutes, I was super bouncing. And that's when I fell in love with the game. And I've been playing the game since then. And any of you guys that don't know, my 22nd birthday will be coming up pretty soon. So I've been a Halo fan for quite some time now.
Very nice.
And it won't be going away anytime soon.
Good. Makes me feel a little old, and GT, you probably feel a lot older.
Well, thanks for pointing it out, Dust.
What's up, Furzled? Dust.
So now I need to make some
Gramps.
more references that go over your head?
Sure, why not? Any video game references in Free Guy that I probably wouldn't have picked up on?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
I saw it on Tuesday with my wife. Fantastic movie.
That's what I've been hearing.
Really great movie.
I'm looking forward to going to see it. I might actually go to the theaters and see it too.
It's our second movie that we've seen since the theaters have opened.
Yeah. We might wander that way Sunday.
It was so good. Such a good movie. I even teared up at the end.
Well, don't spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a very heart-touching moment at the end of the movie. So,
Does like Cortana test his chest, or?
I don't know if that'd be heartwarming than something else. But anyways.
I've waited a long time to do this. Oh.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of not. It's in a similar vein. So, anyways.
Keep it up. I'm going to start talking about books.
Green Lantern, maybe, but I haven't seen Green Lantern, so if there were, I probably missed some pins. To be perfectly honest.
It was a very forgettable movie.
There are some Halo references in there. I only really noticed.
So Pez is like 50?
One. He's one of the old grizzlies. One of the old grizzleds.
Prestige. You whippersnapper.
Wait, did I guess it right? You know, normally, fun fact, when I try to guess people's age, for women, I always guess 5 to 10 years older. and with men, it's always 2 to 4 years younger. I wish it was the other way around, but that's been giving me a lot of trouble in life.
That's all good.
Get off my lawn, you damn kids!
Now get off my lawn. Do you even have a lawn? All right, before we get into too much more trouble. Second question for Prestige. What is it that you do in regards to the Halo community? Where do you hang out? What do you play? You play campaign, multiplayer, Forge? What keeps your interest in Halo going?
Okay, so every single day I do try to discover new things in Halo. So I'm kind of like on the general kid sort of kind of vibe on that part.
We love General Kid here. We love General Kid's videos.
Yep, he's a really good guy. And I actually got to meet him too. Really cool guy.
Nice.
I do mostly campaign. I'm not much of a matchmaking dude. However, I do play with the Podtacular group, and I've done that for several times throughout the past few years. Pretty soon, when I do end up starting my Twitch streaming, I'll be doing more matchmaking on there. And yeah, so mostly I do super bouncing and all sorts of other content that's Halo related. Periodically, there'll be other videos that are not Halo, but most of the time, if you ever stop by my channel, it will always be Halo.
Very nice.
Anything that involves the game.
Fair point. For those that have tuned in to our Achieving Halo, you'll see Prestige on there, and I think you've joined us for a few Fragging Fridays as well. So yeah, he helps us out with some of the challenges and achievements. And how long have you kind of been around the community? Probably a couple of years at least? Or kind of going on a little more than a year?
I remember correctly, you guys were on Mixer as well, right?
We were, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've been here about 3 years, probably.
Before its demise.
I forget that it's been almost a year since Mixer has been.
Yep,
it's been past a year. It got shut down on July 22nd, 2020.
Jeez, It's been more than a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were multi-streaming to that for a little over a year. Wow, that's insane. Yes, Mixer, rip. I miss Mixer too, Pence. There were just some things with Mixer that were just a lot better than Twitch, but you know, Microsoft kind of effed that one up.
Yeah. While we are on the topic of Mixer, for any of those that did not know, I did actually make it as a Mixer partner, and I was that way for about 3 weeks, and then immediately got shut down because the site shut down. So yeah,
well, I'm sorry.
Still owes me my stuff, but I'm okay without it.
Yeah, that's anyways. So on to the Podtacular community update. We kind of hijacked a little bit, but we did play some matchmaking, and I don't think did we do Warzone last week? GT?
Nope.
I don't think.
Yeah, Super Fiesta.
Super Fiesta matchmaking, and then we dove into some of the maps for the Fiesta Frenzy Forge contest that will be seeding our tournament in October.
We played some really good maps.
Yeah, we went
tournament in October.
That's right.
I think we went through 6 maps.
I marked down we went through 5.
Okay, 5. It was close.
October is the same month that my birthday's in.
Very nice.
Birthday falls on a Wednesday this year.
Because we now know the release date of Halo Infinite, which we'll get to in a minute, we are probably looking at the end of October, mid to end October, to actually host the tournament, so we have a little bit more of a buffer to get things set up and organized. We will be putting out the official tournament announcement, if not next week, the week after at the latest. And that will be when team registrations will go live as well. And then we'll cut off registrations either late September, early October, so we can get the brackets set up and get all of the other things that we need to have established. I think we have a couple of people, thanks to the Forge Hub side of things, who might be co-commentating with me, and we might reach out to some other casters and see if anyone else wants to kind of jump into the fray with that. We'll see what happens. I hope you have a contingency plan for infinite fighting. That's a good point, Frizzled. I am in touch with 343. I can reach out to Uni and ask, see if he can recommend a date. That's a good point. I will.
Can you tell me what dates you're not going to be fighting Infinite?
Right. Yeah, it's we're going to have a tournament, so yeah.
I'm also really
hoping everybody to actually show up.
Yeah. I'm also really hoping that this time the Halo Infinite flight will actually work on my PC this time. Last time it said I need the Fall Creators 2020 update, which weird because I had the Spring Spring Creator 2021. So it said as long as you had the Fall one at least, then you'd be good to go. But really, that was a big lie. Thank you.
Did you put in a support ticket for it?
I didn't bother because it was the last day of the flight.
Oh.
So I didn't get to play it all because of work. I was transitioning over to my new schedule.
Ah, gotcha.
I didn't get to play it much.
Hopefully this next one you'll get to make, because it sounds like the next technical preview is going to be Big Team.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping to see it was going to happen tomorrow, but I haven't got no emails yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening tomorrow.
Maybe next weekend.
Possibly.
Also, normally I don't wear headphones, but yeah, if I don't have headphones plugged in, the audio will just echo into my mic. I still got to tweet that setting.
We don't want that. Anything else we missed from the Fraggin' Friday GT? I think that was kind of most of the stuff.
That was pretty much it.
We're not going to talk details on that because we will be judging these. The top ones.
Okay, Pez, you can stop flexing about your Series X, all right?
Yeah.
Not all of us got one.
Well, no. He didn't get the Halo one. He bought a Series X either last week or the week before. One of just the plain Series X's.
But
so when he saw that there was a Halo announcement one, he was like, "Gah." The day before,
which he probably would have missed anyway. So, because they were available for 7.5 seconons.
You know what you could do with
Literally.
that Series X is just scalp it, and then
why not?
it for another one. Because everyone else,
you'd only be able to list it for $800.
Yeah,
Pansy just could not have waited, could you?
We should probably get into that stuff so we can actually not keep the people at home guessing at what we're talking about. For those who are not
why not?
So on the other side of things with game nights, we had Achieving Halo on Sunday as well. We managed to get a couple more of the seasonal challenges done. Thanks to Prestige and Keys helping out, we got into a little system because one of the challenges is to kill high-ranking elites. So what we did was load up Nightfall on Halo Reach and got a checkpoint right before the first elite that you assassinate, and just did that over and over and over again. Had to do it nearly 500 times for Keys, and then he had to do it about 350 times for me.
Nice.
The entire process took only 40, 50 minutes?
I think it was 30.
I mean, either way, it's a really efficient.
That's a lot of assassinations.
Yeah. The funny thing is, we actually had the most viewers during that time we were doing that assassination run, and literally my POV was pause, last checkpoint, yes. Pause, last checkpoint, yes. Pause, last checkpoint, yes. For 30 straight minutes.
I'm sure we were still moving our fingers in our sleep. Well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I know I definitely did.
Okay. I'm not sure where they're going with that one, but I'm just going to keep on going. And people were amazed by the efficiency. They were, Keys. They certainly were. We've got our Fraggin' Fridays happening every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be back on doing either the poll for MCC or Halo 5 likely this week, unless GT decides to play more maps with the community. I'll let him make that decision tomorrow. And then we've got Achieving Halo every Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump on into the playlist updates. What we got coming down the pipe for Halo 5, GT?
Well, for this weekend, we have Covenant Slayer coming in for core play and
Turbo. Turbo time!
Turbo time!
anyway, if anybody hasn't figured this out by now, Warzone Turbo goes live this weekend. For the first week in September, we get the fall 2021 season beginning. We'll get ranked, mythic, arena rotating in. It will replace ranked shoddy for the month. For the rotating playlists, we get rock and rail. It'll come in for Covenant Slayer. Then for the MCC, which that's the wrong page. Anyway, we get firefight doubles coming in as shoddy snipers rotates out. And then we also have Halo Reach Team Hardcore in for the ranked playlist.
That we do. All right. Thank you, GT, for the update. We got a little bit of an MCC development blog as well. We've got the update to the custom game browser coming with Season 8. And it's going to include Halo CE and Halo 3, which will be nice.
Yeet! Custom games are about to get really lit.
Yeah. They're going to add some more filter options, and they're also looking at different experiences for when you're trying to join a full game session. Looking at a kind of join queue for when someone leaves, which that'll be pretty nice. And then for those that have been kind of keeping tabs, they're also working on a couple of new things in just overall Halo, being able to set independently, like between pistols, rifles, and heavies, your view model. So you can either see more of your gun in your hand, or it can be off to the side. So they're experimenting with offsets, including depth of the view model and the horizontal and vertical positioning of it as well. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So cool stuff happening there. And now for the big news. Which one should we hit on first?
Big news time.
News flash. Although this was yesterday's news flash. Anyways.
Yeah, yesterday's news flash. But we finally have a release date for Halo Infinite.
What's
GT,
going on?
Tell me more.
I do believe that we will be playing Halo Infinite on December 8th, which is a Thursday.
December 8th.
So we'll miss the Halo CE anniversary by a few weeks, but
yeah,
still.
Prestige is sad.
At least we'll get it before Christmas.
This is true.
Consider it an early Christmas present.
There for a minute, I was thinking it was going to be a Christmas present. Literally, like it's going to show up on Christmas.
Right. Be kind of cool. Enough time for parents to buy it, wrap it, and then put it under the tree. There you go. Yeah, December 8th. Definitely off key from November 11th being the 20th anniversary, but some people had been making some educated guesses on Microsoft probably not wanting to impact the release of the next Forza title. So it kind of makes sense a little bit, spacing that out.
Well, move Forza up.
Boo, Forza. It's all about Halo here. Forza, get out. Actually, hold on a second.
I don't see a
Forza did have a
podcast
Warthog at one point, so as a DLC. Okay, Forza, you just revived yourself. But this one time
Forza Horizon 4. I think a lot of people were expecting it to be before. I think that was kind of the rumor that it would be sometime in October, which I'm happy now that it's not, because that gives us a little more breathing room to get our tournament off the ground and done and out of the way before we actually get to Halo Infinite. So that's nice. So thank you 343 or Xbox, whoever made that decision. We've got another little piece of news, which we've been kind of hinting at already. You want to talk about that one, GT? Yeah, wink, wink. What's that one?
Wink, wink. The scalpers have abounded, and they have bought all the Halo Infinite limited edition bundle Xbox Series X consoles, and they will be
at least the first wave.
They have already posted them on eBay. So
Yes, yes, they have.
If you haven't caught on, I'm a little salty about that. They did release a Xbox Series X console bundle. Comes with the game and a themed Xbox and controller. And they also released a Halo Infinite themed Elite controller as well, which is also sold out.
And just a disclaimer, don't question GT about it. Don't go into a big giant rant.
The controller didn't sell out as fast, but it's still sold out.
Yes.
And I got neither of them because I am attending basically a virtual conference at work. So I found out about the console and the controller about an hour and a half after they were announced.
Yeah, I saw the tweet, and by the time I actually was able to attempt it, they were all gone.
Yep. Now, for those who are still looking to try to get one, I wouldn't be surprised if every once in a while they're going to be restocking the pre-orders like they do for all the consoles currently. Basically, Target, Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy, they have certain time frames where they'll basically restock, quote unquote, their inventory, and pre-orders will probably open up on a somewhat regular basis on different online retailers. Some people have had success in actually going to a brick and mortar store like Best Buy and GameStop and actually pre-ordering it in the store. I think there have been kind of some horror stories about actually like pre-ordering in the store and people not actually getting their pre-orders. So if you have a local brick and mortar store who's actually good about fulfilling pre-orders, then that might be another avenue for you to take and actually getting your hands on the console or the Elite controller. Otherwise, probably best to kind of tune into some of the Twitter accounts that are on top of when those things go live. Accounts like Wario64 on Twitter is pretty good. That's the one I've seen going around the most. And then Amazon has a placeholder listing on their website. They actually haven't started selling them yet. So there's still a little bit of hope to actually go on to Amazon and actually get it for their first round of pre-order releases as well. No idea when that's happening, but that's something that you could look forward to also. I will be trying to snag one, for sure. And
Me too.
I will attempt to snag a second one as a holiday giveaway if we can manage to pull that off. But for the most part, good luck. That's all I can really say to that.
Yeah, we're going to snag a second one and throw it up on eBay so we can pay for the prize pool for the
tournament.
For the tournament, yeah. It'll be a mere $2,000, so.
Help us help you.
Well, that's okay. We could just set up a GoFundMe page.
I mean, that's basically what Patreon is, so thanks, Prestige.
Oh, you're welcome.
Between
I'm
you
happy
and
to help any
Pins,
day.
between you, Pins, and Confal, you're basically funding this tournament, so.
Oh, yay, I get to be a part of it.
Thank you very much.
Financially.
Yeah, you can earn some of that money back.
There we go.
No, we certainly appreciate all the support, whether it's just spreading word of mouth or any people that decide to help us financially. It's all good. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, big news that broke on Friday last week. You want to talk about this one too, GT? How you feeling about this one?
Did we switch?
Did I not just say, like, a disclaimer that we shouldn't question GT? And yet we do it anyways.
Let's see.
I can bear some of the bad news too if you want.
Yeah.
It's just more entertaining when you do
Unfortunately,
it.
there have been some withheld content from Halo Infinite. The campaign will launch with no co-op
Of any kind.
No
online, no local, no split screen.
And there will not be Forge available at launch.
Oh, wow. So we can't even do custom games for a while. Wow, thank you.
There's custom games, but there's
not custom maps.
Right. No custom maps.
That's the whole point of custom games. It's custom maps.
With one of the big problems with Halo 5's launch was the lack of Forge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just starting with this, so you campaign guys settle down.
You'll get your turn.
The lack of Forge at launch concerns me more than the lack of co-op. I'm not saying that it's not a bad thing. Forge is really related to the longevity of Halo. That said, with what they've displayed so far, there's going to be a lot more content to go through at launch than there was with Halo 5. Between
I've seen that from us, like customization content. I don't know about like playable content.
Let me finish. With the amount of multiplayer that they have indicated that the game will launch with, having a true BTB, not some custom one-off new game mode that nobody's ever heard of.
I am happy that's back.
And the fact that you have your season to unlock, it will keep people busy for a while. Unfortunately, it won't keep them busy long enough.
Yeah, 3 months is a long time, especially after the holidays come.
Well, it all depends on how long the season's going to be.
Which I'm pretty sure they rumored around to be 3 months.
Yeah, with co-op campaign, I know there's a lot of people out there that love couch co-op, and more power to you. I'm glad that you actually are able to sit down and play with people. And I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to do that from the beginning. That said, at least the co-op campaign, from what they've said so far, is what they're focusing on first. The co-op campaign is set currently to arrive with season 2. So roughly 3 months after the game launches.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Forge is not set to release until season 3, which is 6 months.
Right.
I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I think that's going to have a more of a downturn effect to the game than the co-op campaign as far as the game's longevity.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're coming out of the gate already at a disadvantage. And like you nailed it on the head. A lot of people just did not, that having no Forge at the beginning of Halo 5 to really keep people coming back.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing you have to remember,
helped a little bit.
Halo CE and Halo 2 didn't have Forge either.
That's true. That's true.
So if they pull the multiplayer off right, it may not be a problem. Problem is, we've seen some of the multiplayer, but we haven't seen the whole package yet.
Right. And we won't until the game launches.
Exactly.
We'll get more with the tech preview, but
we'll get another taste, but we won't see the whole package.
Right. Exactly.
And if I may, there's been a lot of debate that's been going around on YouTube and Twitter lately of should Halo Infinite be delayed? And what I'm thinking is, well, I mean, this was before the release date even was confirmed. I would say that it being released now is better than it being never released or it get delayed another year just for those 2 features. I mean, sure, it's going to suck that we don't have it from the beginning, but at least we get to play the game, as it is, and we get those features later on guaranteed. Where if it was delayed, it'd be like another year or 2 or whatever. And I don't know about you guys, but 6 years is a long time to develop a game. And at the end of the day, I just don't want it to be another cyberpunk catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be able to pull this off right so that we can actually play and have a good time like we used to back in the old days.
So 343 did release a video where they had Unishek sitting down with Sam on the multiplayer side of things, and then Sketch sitting down with Joe. And they kind of did talk a little bit about how with the release date coming up, they have to basically shut down production, or basically like make it go gold, fix all the bugs, polish up all of the existing features, and they just didn't feel like the state that Forge was in and co-op was in was going to be good enough for the polished experience that they want. So, and
which
one
I mean,
side,
at least at the end of the day, they're actually putting focus into it and making sure that it's going to be usable and playable for us when it does get released,
right?
instead of it being broken.
Let's not have another MCC at launch, please.
Yes, most definitely.
Which it sounds like that's what they're trying to do. So I applaud them for that.
Yes, I mean, I'm giving you more than a golf clap. I'm giving you like hands-on clap, but not trying to be too loud.
I am, I'm upset that those two features will not be there at launch, but I'm glad for the simple fact that they're saying, hey, we've got this much of the game that works. We need to get it polished so we can get it out the door, so we can get it into people's hands, because we've been waiting 6 years. I don't think delaying the game even before they announced the release date was actually even feasible. I really think the backlash from that would be a lot more than what we're getting from these two features being left out.
Yeah. And you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons to it as well, because in like having it at launch, there's a certain kind of psychological stipulation with people buying the game at launch. Is like, this is what the game is, and people play it and then they put it away for something else. If a feature is not going to be there, then they might not think to come back around to it after a new feature is added. So you have that versus, release a game that has at least some of the features and allow players who are okay with playing the game without Forge and without co-op play the game. And then for those people that want to wait until co-op is available, then that first buy can be your first experience of actually going through co-op. But then there's the whole FOMO aspect of it as well. It's like, okay, well, if the way you normally play campaign is with your bro, then that experience you're going to be missing out on for possibly 6 months. Bro or sis, whatever.
Yeah.
So I get that it's a tough decision, and they did talk about how they were considering another delay, but they decided that they did not want to do that. So at this point, we're going to get the things that are polished and ready, and then that gives them more time to actually carefully take the time that they need to make sure that the co-op campaign experience and the Forge experience will be what will be acceptable to the community.
Right.
It sucks. It's not a fun situation for sure, but I don't think they're necessarily making a bad decision. Might not be the one that a lot of people want.
It's not a popular decision, but...
No, but it's not a wrong or bad decision necessarily either. I mean, people are going to have their opinions of, oh, well, they should be delaying, and they like it taking 6 years. Like they shouldn't be missing features after 6 years. Well, we're not the game devs. We don't know what really happened behind closed doors at the studio and all the things that they did to completely revamp the engine. Even though, yes, they're still technically part of the original Blam engine in there, they still did a massive overhaul to the engine. I mean, we were talking about this on the last podcast. If you change out all the parts of a vehicle over time, it's still the same vehicle as it was the first day.
Right.
There might be like 10% of the code from the original engine in the game. It's like, does that 10% make it the original engine? At this point, probably not.
I think at that point it's a feature, not an engine.
Right. I mean, that's basically just keeping the Halo feel of the game, but there's so many new aspects of Halo now that it would be probably unrecognizable unless you actually looked under the hood.
Right.
So yeah, no Forge, no campaign co-op of any kind is going to suck. But at least we have a game.
Yes.
And
right.
It sounds like they're going to at least try to make the game a polished experience where kind of maybe what you're saying, GT, might be polished enough where it keeps people because it's actually an enjoyable game to play from a multiplayer and campaign perspective. And it's a live service. It's something that they're kind of wrapping into. Hey, this game is going to be a continuous. It's never going to be done, basically. So, and there has to be a starting point somewhere.
Well, the deal with, and this is a problem with the live service model. Yes, the game is never done, but it should be looked at with the development that they are adding content, not holding back promised content.
Right. And the only reason they're holding it back is because it's not ready.
Right. And I don't have a problem with that. But it's just it's a shot in the ribs.
Yeah. Like, there have been studies out there where it's like I think the majority of Halo players are primarily campaign players. I think it's like 56% or something like that are like their primary experience in Halo is campaign.
Mm-hmm.
People, and I forget who I was talking to, or maybe this was Haas last week. People buy Halo for the campaign and they stay for the multiplayer.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, and part of that campaign experience for a lot of people is now not there at launch. And now you're stuck with a choice. Do you play the campaign by yourself? Or do you wait until there's co-op and then you're 6 months behind the content? And who knows, at that point they might have campaign DLC. I have no idea what their plan is for the campaign longevity, but there's going to be some kind of campaign content that will come out at some point.
Mm-hmm. I hope it's longer than 6 months, but
I mean, it could be. They could be focusing on multiplayer. It
kind of all depends on what their DLC package is, package model is.
Mm-hmm.
Is it every 6 months they give you 3 new missions, or they give you a whole new campaign?
Or maybe some new side quests.
Yeah.
That would actually be really interesting. Kind of like a RPG aspect to it.
A little bit, yeah.
I think that would be really sick.
We will have to wait and see.
Now, okay, Pens actually just said something in the Twitch chat. Said, honestly, if we get something like Spartan Ops as a DLC, that we get a new group of missions, I'll be more than happy. Now, I do kind of want to touch on that a little bit. Spartan Ops, it was good. It's a good concept, okay? I didn't like the way that it was executed in Halo 4, but, of course, Halo 4 was a little bit rushed. Now, I feel like if they actually took the time and put effort into it, I feel like a Spartan Ops kind of game mode would be really interesting in Halo Infinite if they kind of build it out just right. Not saying that Spartan Ops wasn't good at all. I didn't care for it, but, like I just said, the concept of it was really good.
Well, for me, the first half of that first half season was kind of meh. But after you get into the second half of the season, it picked up really nice, and it started giving you a good story. It just got a really slow start. Do I rate it above the Halo 4 story? No. The story told in Halo 4 was much better than what they told in Spartan Ops.
Well, not to mention the writing in the first half of Spartan Ops was not great. It got vastly better for the second half of season 1, but yeah, the first half was rough. Thankfully, the second half got better, but that's when it was already canceled by the time the second season came out. So yeah, or second half, yeah. Giving it the TV analogy there. So we've got some unfortunate news with the Forge and the co-op, and they're definitely big blows to launch. I am really curious. Like, I'm kind of like I get that game development's hard. I mean, I have the same questions of like 6 years, guys. Like, you really couldn't have put in co-op experience and Forge at the base of the game, really? But then again, it's like I don't know how technically challenging it was, and like how long were they tooling the engine compared to developing Halo Infinite's story and game mechanics, and what's the story behind how much COVID impacted their progress.
which I'm sure had a major impact on them.
Well, yeah, I mean, the COVID, it basically, that single year that they were out, that basically ate up 2 years worth of work, or extended it 2 years. I get what they're saying, that the co-op wasn't where they wanted it, but I mean, that's an engine factor. That should have been in development from day one. When they started rebuilding the engine or building the new engine, that should have been right there at the top of the priority list to get done.
Well, now it's like, now the thought is, did something like a Halo 2 happen where they went in one direction and they completely had to scrap something and
scrap the entire thing, and then had to redo the entire.
And we probably won't know for 10 years until somebody quits working for them and spills the beans.
And I'm sure that's probably will happen. Like, I mean, it happened with Halo 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure.
Well, see, it wasn't really a big secret with Halo 2 either.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could pretty much tell.
I mean, yeah, it happened with Halo 2, but yeah, it wasn't a real big secret. The only thing got released was details.
Pretty much. Yeah. And since we're still kind of in the topic of Forge and co-op campaign not being in, there's this thing that people have been saying recently that, oh, well, Halo Infinite is just going to be another garbage ordeal. You guys don't know that. Okay, none of us know that. Halo Infinite isn't out yet. Right. Halo 4, yes, it was rushed. It wasn't the best. Halo 5 was really rushed, as far as I'm concerned. I still haven't played it that much, so I can't really speak on it. At the end of the day, at least they're actually trying. Okay, they got their feet wet with Halo 4, and then they got a little bit more expectations from the Halo community themselves when they did Halo 5. They understand, from our point of view, how a Halo game should be. So at least they're putting all the effort into it to, develop the Halo Infinite just right.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it takes several delays, even if some of the features are not there, they are still working hard. And I do give them thanks for that. At least it shows that they care about the community. They're trying their best.
And to everyone who has said that 343 has killed Halo, there wouldn't even be another Halo game if it weren't for 343. So 343 is literally keeping Halo alive. Literally. Right. They are not killing Halo. They are keeping it alive.
Another thing on that, too. For any of you guys that wish Bungie was back making Halo,
look at Destiny 2.
You don't want that.
Look at Destiny 2.
You don't want that in Halo. Trust me.
No.
Bungie is not the same than what they used to be.
Well, the people that worked on Halo are no longer there.
Well, and that's the point. But still,
the direction that Bungie has taken Halo, or had started Halo on with Reach. Reach, as great as Reach was, which it was better than Halo 3 in my opinion when it came to multiplayer.
Except for Bloom.
Actually, I really didn't have any problem with Bloom. I started having problems with it when they started adjusting on it. Anyway, the concepts that were taken forward from Reach on started in Reach. The idea of Spartan abilities or armor mods like Sprint and Bubble Shield and Armor Lock and Jetpack, that was Bungie.
Yeah.
Evade.
Oh, Bungie.
Yep.
Yeah, Evade, which in my opinion was more broken than Armor Lock.
Pretty much.
Armor Lock took me all of about 10 seconds to figure out how to beat it. Evade, never mind. Anyway, those concepts started in Reach, and 343 continued it. Halo 4, they did a great job on the campaign. They did a good job on the multiplayer once they got rid of the Call of Duty aspect of it. The whole kill streak thing, and went to a more traditional Slayer. The gameplay felt good. the balance to me felt really well between mobility and, gunplay. Halo 5, they dropped the ball on campaign, but their multiplayer just has really shined in my eyes. Yes, there are issues with the multiplayer that bug me. Spartan Charge is one of them. Well, the final version of Spartan Charge. What they had in the beta, perfect. I would have no problem with that. Good. But they tweaked it for the game and just made it stupid. So you've got 343 has developed a rock solid campaign in Halo 4. Their only downfall there was the necessity to read external fiction to fully understand the story. That was its only downfall. Then you have Halo 5 multiplayer, which is a great multiplayer. It's fun to play. It's got a good pace to it. And it interpolates that stuff that started in Reach in a relatively fair and balanced way. To where, in Halo's Reach and 4, it was kind of lopsided. So they're learning. And from what I've seen so far, it looks like they're putting it together in Halo Infinite, where we're going to get a killer campaign story and we're going to have a fun multiplayer. And the multiplayer, as long as they pull off a good quality multiplayer like we had in Halo 2, then Forge is not going to be as much of a problem not having it as if, say, Halo 3 launched without Forge. And I've seen some people say Forge really didn't launch until Bungie gave us Foundry, which is a pretty
some aspects.
Which is a pretty fair assessment. Because before Foundry showed up, you can move rocks around. You could make ramps on Valhalla. You could do things like that, but there was no real map creation. It was map modification. Then you get Foundry, and then you get a space where you can make a map. You basically get a blank canvas and you fill it up. So, a lot of people will say that, Forge really didn't start in Halo 3 until Foundry came available.
And don't forget Sandbox 2 with the multiplayer disc that they came with.
Mm-hmm.
And all them.
Yep.
I mean, you didn't really start out blank. I mean, you could delete everything easily. Or I think it did. I don't remember.
There was a canvas for Sandbox when they released it that was basically nothing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool when you actually delete a block in the middle and you got like an extra area at the bottom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool.
Don't forget about the area up top, too.
Right. The one in the sky.
You had 3 areas on that map. But like I said, the Foundry's what really got Halo 3 Forge rolling. Sandbox don't get me wrong, was a great addition. And it expanded even further onto that Forge. So, like I said, as long as they can pull off the multiplayer, the Forge might not be as big of a problem, but I do think it's still going to turn people off from the multiplayer.
Right.
Yeah, because, I mean, you play the same maps and modes for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
That could definitely get a little bit tiring.
Like I said, we don't know what their content release schedule is for the free version, for the multiplayer. We don't know what they have planned for maps as far as releasing new maps, what the schedule is on that, or even if it's going to happen, or if they have a release schedule for different game modes, more curated playlist or rotational playlist or something like that. So there's a lot of unknowns. So, we can only go off what we know.
Right. And they may be making Forge content like within the studio. Like maybe they're going to use Forge tools that they don't feel like releasing because they don't think it's polished. So we might still get some Forge content into multiplayer. It just won't be necessarily community made.
I just wish that we get a Pelican that we can fly around with. That would be really cool.
Now, after what they pulled off with Halo 5's Forge, it might be worth the wait.
There's probably going to be a lot of cool stuff with Forge when we finally get our hands on it.
And I know I'm definitely going to be making a video on everything about Forge and the campaign and everything else.
Well, I plan on firing it up and streaming it, so.
Me too.
I'm going to play through as much of it as I can. I am not starting at midnight, though.
No,
I will be asleep.
I would if it's the weekend.
Well, it's a Thursday.
For me, I'm already on vacation, so I'm not having to take extra leave for the launch of Halo, I guess, because I won't even be around to play it. So as soon as I get back from vacation, get back on
remote play.
No.
Good news, you can play.
Not for an FPS.
You can play Halo Infinite on your cell phone
for campaign. No. It'll be fine.
Yay! Just be like,
no. If I want to experience the campaign for the first time, I want to experience it in full 4K glory.
We'll take your laptop.
Full settings, because my computer can actually handle it for the most part. My only bottleneck is my CPU from kind of looking at my meters when I was doing the tech preview. There are some points where, like, in a heavy firefight, I would drop down to like maybe 40-ish frames per second, but for the most part, I was up in like the 58 frames range. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I played on my One X, and it was for the most part smooth. I did have some areas where I'd get a noticeable drop in frame rate, but all in all, I was pretty impressed.
Nice.
Seriously, playing on last generation hardware, the game's running really good.
That's great. And I heard a lot of people say from the Flight 2 that it was running pretty well on the original Xbox as well. Granted, it was 30 frames and only 1080, or wait, no, not 1080, 960 or something like that. But apparently it was still a smooth 30 FPS experience.
Oh, I got good news. Since we're talking about original Xboxes.
What's that? What's the good news?
I fixed it.
Hey!
I fixed my Halo 5 Xbox. Apparently, it's all Microsoft's fault.
What'd they do this time?
Updated it. And apparently, the update got corrupted.
Oh.
You want to know how I know that? Because last week, my other Xbox One did the exact same thing. So I'm like, no, there's no way they both went out and do the exact same thing.
My like day one original Xbox One basically wouldn't boot, and I had to do a factory reset on it for it to start working again.
Yep, that's what I did with mine.
I did the same thing
some of those updates just don't work.
So thanks, Microsoft. I love you.
Hey, at least you figured it out. So there's that.
No, though this was a shot in the dark. Let's see. Let's try this and see if it works. Thankfully,
it did. It did. We do have some other kind of good news-ish for the most part. We got a new video released from Gamescom yesterday.
I actually haven't even seen it yet.
And there's way too many people over-analyzing this video.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, they haven't had an Xbox game in 6 years. Or a Halo game in 6 years.
It's like, can you just enjoy the trailer for what it is, please?
If
I do like some of the stuff they reveal in it, though.
Yeah.
Please no spoilers. I have not seen it yet.
Well, load up the update and watch it. Come on. You're going to have to pull your weight as a guest.
That's right. We're about to spoil it for you here in 5 minutes. Yeah, so for the Season 1, the multiplayer, they released a little cinematic intro, which kind of begs the question if they're going to do it for every season, or at least maybe the first initial seasons. I doubt they would go past like a certain maybe content schedule date. But maybe for the first couple of years we'll have these cinematic intros, which would be interesting. But we get a little bit of backstory, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we get a little backstory on a certain Spartan.
Yep. We'll give Prestige just 5 minutes to watch the video. We got.
I don't want to watch it like right now because I want to make a video on me reacting to it.
Well, then we're gonna spoil it.
I'll be all right.
or at least a part of it. We won't spoil the whole thing, but
well, there's only one really good thing in there.
I mean, it's some Spartans kind of
this is like, here you go,
beating up some brutes, and a certain commander. What's her name?
Yeah, there's a certain commander that will remain anonymous at this point in time. That you may have already figured out who we're talking about. Shows up in her non-Spartan form.
Yep. And is exposed to the Covenant that are going through some city, and then is rescued by Spartans. I guess we'll just leave it at that. That's probably about as detailed as we can get, unless we just kind of go into more details.
Without crushing Ace's reaction.
Right.
Well, and, actually, I'm not even paying attention. I'm trying to straighten out my wire tie.
Okay. All right. We got some stats for the last tech preview as well.
Mm-hmm.
We got some interesting numbers. We have over 500,000 hours spent in multiplayer.
Wow.
500,000 or 519,914. If we had one more hour in there, it'd be just the same front to back.
You slackers.
Well, we have been recording for an hour, so I guess that's considered 520.
No, one more hour of Halo play.
Yeah, Halo playtime. There were a total of over 65 million bots slayed. Over 1.3 million matches in total. 2.8 total weapon drills completed, and almost 45,000 hours spent in weapon drills.
Gonna have to say that we played the hell out of that technical preview.
We spent a lot of time. Yeah, we spent a lot of time in it.
I put about 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. Thanks, Microsoft. I love you.
I got 6 games in, and that was it.
No, I've got more than that, but overall, it was done well. So I hope they got the information that they wanted from it, and that it does.
It sounds like it did.
It does what it improves the game in a meaningful way. Although,
I think
if they start tweaking on bots, I might have a problem.
Well, at least with the bots, we know that there's 4 ranks.
Mm-hmm.
The only one we didn't see was recruit rank. And
we learned they're grenade happy.
Yes. And there's some more stuff in there that we kind of already assumed that they were kind of based off of real player data. There was kind of the hunch going around that they were maybe using some of the tech preview data to help better train the bots, which maybe for the ODST and the Spartan level might make some sense. But there's also a whole write-up on the Inside Infinite update, which got posted today, which goes over all the multiplayer stuff, and that's where we're getting some of these stats from the tech preview as well. Lots of cool things about seeing what people were kind of chatting about. One of the devs mentioned that they were getting a lot of feedback around the personal AI and how each one was customized and how each one was, like, there was a pretty wide breadth of people choosing different ones for different reasons. Pens, thank you for another gifted sub. Oh, and hey Savage Giggles.
Hey, what's
Fancy
up, Savage?
Seeing you over here. Thank you for dropping on by the stream. Hope you had a good rest of your night last night. And no, Laird, it was not Commander Shepard. Although I do still need to finish that. Yeah.
Well, that's about as straight as I'm going to get it.
Very nice. Yeah, probably. I might not finish Mass Effect Legendary Edition until, or before Infinite. We'll see what happens. I want to finish it though at some point. I just need to. Yeah, and yes, Laird, we do have a Spartan Hazel in the chat. What else do we got going on? We have a full interview with a lot of the multiplayer folks over at 343 in this update. So I think this is probably the most dev-heavy update that we've seen so far. On the multiplayer team, we had 7 individuals as part of the little interview that they did on the multiplayer side of things. And then there's a whole separate experience team around the bots. And they had 4 different people talk about the bots that we got in the tech preview as well. So there were a lot of people in this update to really give a lot of feedback based on what happened during the tech preview and a lot of the responses to feedback that we gave during the tech preview as well. There's nothing else really major in there. There's a lot of feedback from them kind of responding to community feedback. There's a lot of technical issues. Of course, people that were participating a lot of people couldn't play for the first couple of hours, and they said that there's a big learning experience for that. There were some things they learned about progression and battle pass that they want to fix and update based on player feedback. There was also a couple things where people were giving feedback about certain aspects of the game that they said was already fixed in future releases, since the build was about 2 months behind for the most part. So yeah, if you want to learn more about the specifics on what they are changing in the game based on player feedback and what some of the main driving factors are for multiplayer, then it's definitely worth the read. I will say, from the design pillar perspective, I'll just read these little pieces. We get from Tom French here the 3 multiplayer pillars specifically for the title. First one is the player Spartan is Halo canon. We want players to feel invested in their Spartans, and part of that is making them a part of the bigger Halo universe. This led to the world wanting to feel more grounded to reduce gaminess without compromising gameplay. The second one is extensibility at the core. Mode systems and everything we build for Infinite will be modular and expandable over the lifetime of the game. This enables us to recontextualize parts of one game mode quickly to stand up new game mode prototypes for future seasons. The long-term benefits is this also helps us extend this beyond our internal team and into the community development tools by exposing these various components through Forge and custom game settings to empower the community to build more content that feels more real alongside things built by our team at 343. Then the third pillar is always onboarding. Playing online is intimidating for many and difficult to master. It was important for us to develop an evergreen on-ramp of features into online play we refer to as the Academy. Starting with the tutorial, players start their journey joining the ranks as a Halo Spartan to learn the basic mechanics. Through additional features like weapon drills, training mode, and the Players vs. Bots playlist, players always have fun and safe ways to practice and explore Infinite before they are ready to jump boot first into matchmaking. So, Player Spartan is Halo canon, extensibility at its core, and always onboarding. Which the always onboarding is kind of a new thing for Halo, because Halo's always been kind of a throw yourself in and start learning things kind of the hard way, unless you have people that are willing to hop into custom games with you and let you shoot them and kind of learn, basically. So it's nice that we actually have a lower barrier to entry for people to actually enjoy Halo, and that I'm hoping that actually helps with kind of player base and longevity as well, because if people can just hop in and try to learn what Halo is in a safe space without being completely bombarded in matchmaking, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, it's nice.
I do like that a lot.
It's nice to be able to jump into multiplayer and not have to match up with Snipe Down or something like that, you know.
Yeah. Especially when everyone's getting their initial ranks and you just get steamrolled in one game and the next game you steamroll someone else. It's like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take about a week and really enjoy the campaign before I even touch multiplayer.
Right.
Let all the good players get out of my way.
Yeah.
I can join the average players.
Join us, our average plebs.
Hey, guess what, GT? Now that I actually has a good point in chat, maybe it's my turn to speak. Damn it.
Oh, jeez.
Which is actually ironic because I have nothing to say.
Yeah, it's all good. Chime up if you got something. Don't mean to necessarily steamroll over anything, just kind of going through the update. So if you got something you want to say, just feel free to hop in and stop me. I'm all good with that. On the arena-specific side of things, this comes
Oh, a
from...
second.
I knew you were going to do that.
I was just testing to make sure it was working.
Oh, geez. You're a funny man, Prestige. Oh, if anyone didn't catch the stream on Sunday, there were plenty of times where I was saying Prestige's name in a very frustrated, angry way that had everybody laughing, so you can go check the VOD for that if you want.
I was laughing so hard, like I'm just silently laughing. I'm just trying to contain myself. Prestige!
Prestige!
Did Prestige accidentally get disconnected from the game?
No, he kept trolling while we were trying to get challenges completed.
You know, they're like, okay, GT, you actually got watched back to VOD, but it's actually hilarious. Dustin's over here just trying to assassinate the elite, and I just shoot my pistol, and he just goes, it just goes flying.
Like I'm chatting with Keys, I'm actually engaging with the chat, and then it's like Prestige just completely derails the challenge we're trying to do, and then just like Prestige. So it was fun, but
I just cannot stop laughing.
That sounds like somebody needs to accidentally get booted.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh,
my
sorry.
finger slipped. I meant to hit last checkpoint, not boot.
Oh, what's this button? Oh, it's the report button. Oh yeah, I forgot 3 for 3 added that.
Ooh.
My bad. I didn't mean to send a report on you.
As long as it's a good report, then I'm fine with that. So Andrew Witz, who's the lead multiplayer designer for Halo Infinite, has 5 design pillars for Arena. First one is fair starts. Pretty self-explanatory. Next one is the lone wolf survives, but the pack thrives. Players can initially achieve individually through skill expression, but the team with better coordination, communication, and reactivity will seize the most victories. Makes sense. Mastery, equaling depth or mechanical depth and tactical decision making. So, what tools you're using and what tactics you're putting in, combining those together, how well you do. Game mode clarity, which is kind of helpful, maybe for if we have any new modes. The modes in Halo Infinite's Arena communicate their game states efficiently and urgently to bolster the tactical decision-making required for a player's path to mastery over the Arena experience. Basically communicating to the player what's happening so they can make the best decision. And then power is earned and impermanent. Scavenging pushes teams to contest the acquisition of items within the Halo sandbox. Any item that can be earned can also be taken away through combat resolution, positioning, and tactical action. Basically, be there at the right time, right place, grab your power weapons, and power-ups. That's all for the Inside Infinite dev update. And I don't think there was really anything other than that new, for the most part. Did I miss anything, guys?
Nothing that I know about.
I have no idea. I don't read those things. I don't have time to read them.
I think we got most of the stuff for tonight. So yeah, big news update. Not doing a topic tonight just because we are actually running into about an hour 30 for this podcast. I didn't think we'd take that long to run through stuff, but we were going to talk about collector's editions and collector's item type stuff for Halo Edition, since there was the whole collector's edition Xbox and controller that no one can get their hands on right now. But we'll save that for next week and come back to doing kind of our Halo Infinite road to launch type podcast discussions. Yeah, Navajo, it was crazy. I think pretty much everywhere it was sold out within 2 minutes. Best Buy, Walmart, Target, Xbox Store.
You name it.
Yeah. The only one that hasn't gone live with their sales yet is Amazon. And then right now it's just a placeholder. So who knows when that will actually go live. And hopefully there's just more stock that becomes available for pre-orders. And the scalpers are out there. Sucks.
Enforce
there was a way
with their bots.
Although Walmart has this little like verify account feature thing where you actually have to press and hold a button. So I'm sure like they probably didn't take too long to update those bots, but it definitely was frustrating for me because it doesn't work well with Firefox. So like I was there at 8:30 on the nose and refreshing, and it's like, okay, there's the button. Let me push this thing, and it had me do this account verification thing for like 3 minutes. I'm like, why isn't this working? So I finally went over to Edge, and it actually worked. But by the time I actually got the Xbox in my car, it was already sold out. So It's a little frustrating and annoying if you can't tell.
Yeah, I've only checked Amazon like 7 times since the beginning of the
Only 7, not 372?
Well, I didn't count the times I hit refresh.
Oh.
And just for the record, these 300 plus times was actually just today alone.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, if I get a shot at it, I'll try, but I'm not holding my breath because they'll put it on sale during the middle of the day when I can't get to it.
Well, if I manage to get one at some point, if I can get one in addition to a second one, hopefully as a giveaway for Podtacular, then I'm definitely going to try to help people out with actually getting consoles. And I had, if folks remember Church from the Installation 01 project, he helped me get a 3070, which I'm very hopeful for. So share the love around. If you have the ability to help a fellow Halo fan out, then I would encourage you to do so. A couple of quick community type announcements. Frizzle shared this with me and wanted us to kind of mention it on the show, but there is a charity event happening by a streamer called Comatrix. This is a fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Society to help fight dementia, and this is a charity stream happening on September 5th, which is a Sunday. We got a raid from Hayden, the actual Hayden this time. Welcome, Hayden, and all your hate SWAT viewers. Bleh.
You almost said Hayden.
Thank you, Hayden, for the raid. So yeah, September 5th, which is a Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. What? 2 p.m. GMT. Oh, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it's 2 p.m. GMT, which would be 10 a.m. Eastern. Or is that? Yeah. No, sorry. 9 or 11. Yeah, 10 GMT. Sorry. 10 a.m. Eastern. 7 a.m. Pacific.
I think it's 9.
No. The BST would be 5-hour difference. GMT is 4-hour difference currently with daylight savings.
I don't know anymore. This thing is just confusing.
Yeah.
Why do we have
time zones? Why do we have them?
Time zones are, yeah. So it's going to be a 6-hour stream. There's a Just Chatting, then Halo tourney, then goes with prizes and community games. So thank you, Frizzle, for passing that along, and now I've passed it on to you. So it's CAMATRIIX, so 2 I's in there, on Twitch. We've also got the Forging Frenzy Forge contest has concluded for submissions. So GT and I will be joining Sir Ironwolf and Floge over on the Forge Hub side of things to start judging those maps. Hopefully as early as this weekend. Submissions were extended by 5 days, so they officially concluded on Saturday last week. So we played some of those maps on our Fraggin' Friday stream last week, and we might do some more. I'll leave that up to GT. But we're going to be judging some maps behind closed doors for a little bit, and then once we kind of have like our top 10, I think we'll start streaming some of those play sessions and judging moments. But we are very excited to see what has come about. Out of the 5 maps that we played last week, most of them were actually really fun to play.
Mm-hmm. They had there was interesting mechanics to some of them.
Yep. Some interesting spawn paths. There was one that had a really, really good ebb and flow to it.
Mm-hmm.
And Frogbutts just camping with a shotgun.
Well, that's Frogbutts. He did it on all the maps.
The troll master, for the most part.
He's shooting you. He's being a butt with a shotgun and shooting frogs at you.
Pretty much. It's just...
he has chose his name wisely.
Eat my cricket shells.
I know before the deadline was extended, there were 40 submissions. I don't know how many made it past that. So we at least have 40 maps to go through, which is quite a few maps.
Yes, it is.
Those will be interwoven with some of the built-in maps for Halo that will have Super Fiesta type game modes played on. and they will be run in a very akin MLG style. And there is a $2,000 prize pool for the tournament that we'll be hosting in October. So I will be pushing this out to as many people as I can to see if we can actually get some team registrations. Competitive and Super Fiesta is going to be an interesting combination, and I cannot wait to see what happens, to be perfectly honest. I am excited for this tournament. It's going to be so great.
It'll be interesting to see.
Tournament!
It'll be interesting to see how much the luck of the draw influences the game.
And that's the most exciting part to me, I think. Like, because you have people that are like crazy good at the game. Like you bring in some of these competitive players, but then you add the Super Fiesta side of it, and it's like, okay, you throw competitive players in with maybe average, maybe above average skilled players. If they have a rocket launcher or a sniper, and you spawn with an AR and a saw, they might have the upper hand on you just because they spawn with power weapons. Thanks everyone for tuning into the podcast tonight. Whether you're on Twitch or downloading the show, we really appreciate it. You can find the podcast on all your podcasting platforms, which apparently now Facebook has a podcasting little thing. So I'm going to have to add our podcast to our Facebook page.
Yay!
Add them there. But
that sounds awesome.
Addition to Facebook soon, we also are on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. If there's a place you listen to podcasts that we are not, please just reach out to us and let us know. And we will work on trying to get the podcast onto your preferring listening platform of choice. You can catch the podcast on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also are on Twitch for our live streams. And we have some content on YouTube, which we'll probably get into a little bit more as Infinite comes out. Putting some more content up there. But for the meantime, been a little quiet. There's a certain video series that has been a little bit on hiatus because of other technical issues.
Well, other obligations.
And that too.
Like, sleep.
Sleep is important. People need to get your sleep because I can be a testament. I have not gotten great sleep this week, and it has been a drag. If you have seen me fidgeting, that's probably one of the reasons why. You can also find us on our Discord server. That is where we interact with the community the most, and it's also where we host our poll for Fraggin' Friday, if you so choose to participate. If you want to have an influence on if we play MCC or Halo 5, then Discord is the place to be. We also have our Spartan Company, which you can join. We have 6 more of those company commendations that we're still going for to try to get the Achilles helmet. We have 3 that are pretty close and 3 that are not so much. So if you want to help us continue to try to get that Achilles helmet even into the lifetime of Halo Infinite, then come on over and join us and help us kind of crunch out that Achilles helmet. And we've also got our Xbox Club as well. And once we do our next Tale from the Foxhole, we'll pull little community stories from the Discord and the Xbox Club. Could be Halo related in any shape or form, and we will talk about it in the Podtacular community segment of the show at the beginning. There's a number of ways to support the podcast. For those that are tuning in, either on Twitch or via download, just sharing the podcast certainly helps. Leaving us a review on iTunes also helps gain exposure. You can also support us monetarily if you so choose. Easiest way to do that is becoming a subscriber on Twitch. Huge shout outs to the folks who are subscribers, and a huge shout out to Pins for subscribing every visitor that manages to come by, being the sole funding source of the Podtacular Twitch channel.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second.
Uh-oh. Here comes Prestige. Don't break your bank. Don't do it. You're already at tier 3, so you're already doing 5 times as much as Pin's just normal one. That's a good sub. Thank you, Prestige, for
You're welcome, because Piz was too lazy and didn't bother to give Hayden a sub.
Oh,
roasted. I'm kidding.
Of course, Pin's already threw out 11 this stream, so
Prestige just called you out, Pins. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, one thing you must know about me, I'm really savage. But at the end of the day, I still love my Halo community members, no matter what shape, way, or form.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, thank you for the gifted sub anyways. Appreciate it. In addition to subscribing to us on Twitch, you can also support us through Patreon. Prestige is here because he has participated in the $10 tier, which is our guest host tier, which after 6 months of being in that tier, you actually have the chance to come on the show. So if Prestige decides to keep his $10 tier, then in a year he will have the same privilege or opportunity for him to come back on the show.
I'm definitely continuing my tier because I love supporting these guys.
Well, definitely appreciate it. I think I said this before the show started, or maybe at the beginning, but it's because of actually all the support that we've gotten on Twitch and Patreon that we're actually able to put up a $2,000 prize pool for this Fiesta competitive tournament. We'll see how well this goes. If this goes well, and then Infinite has kind of the different weapon tiers, we might do this again. So let's hope that.
Or we might just roll it back to Halo 5 and do it anyway.
I mean, we could always do that too. Could have at that point, it's a throwback tournament. But either way, if Patreon or Twitch subscriptions is not your flavor and you want to donate to us directly, we also have a PayPal, which you can donate to us directly through. Podtacular.com/donate will take you there. And you can support us directly monetarily that way. Regardless, if you can't help us out monetarily, just helping us out by being a part of the community and helping share the podcast with your friends and other Halo fans would be most excellent. Gents, we've got a lot of crazy Halo stuff. Lots of unfortunate news, some good news. At least the unfortunate news is not a permanent unfortunate, and we'll actually get campaign co-op and Forge next year with Infinite, so we at least know those are coming.
And maybe eventually an Xbox. Oh.
And hopefully we'll be able to grab some of those Xboxes when they go.
Fingers crossed.
And no, I like Dust Storm. I'm not changing my gamertag to Dust and Echoes. I like my Dust Storm too much. Although, I would be surprised if that gamertag wasn't chosen. I mean, I could pull that definitely as an alt if it wasn't taken, but I'm pretty sure that's taken. I'd be surprised if it wasn't taken.
Plot twist, the main character in Halo Infinite besides Chief, the pilot, his name is Dustin Echoes. Spoiler alert!
It'd be funny if it actually was.
That would have been
there's going to be some homage in there.
3 for 3, take
probably.
notes. All right? If you don't name him Dustin Echoes, we're coming after you. It'd be a perfectly missed opportunity. Do it.
No, his name's Brohammer.
Do it.
Do it.
Dustin Echoes, Brohammer. Brohammer could be the nickname. Dustin Echoes could be the actual name. No?
If I had the awkward cricket noise right now, I would play it, but I don't.
It's all good. So that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see y'all, or some of y'all, on Friday for Fucking Fridays and some for Achieving Halo on Sundays. If not, we'll see you right back here next week for some more Halo Infinite hype train to launch with talking about the Collector's Edition stuff. And maybe one of us will have an actual pre-order for that one of those by the time we come around. We'll see what happens. Prestige, where can people find you?
So right now I'm currently doing YouTube, so you can find me at you can just type in PrestigeAce on YouTube, or if you rather go to the link route, that'll be HTTPS whatever the rest of that crap is, youtube.com/c/PrestigeAceYT. For any of those that are in Twitch chat, I'll drop that link for you guys.
Very nice. Yep, Prestige has been helping hold down the fort on Achieving Halo Sundays, and then you can find him occasionally throughout the rest of the week. And I believe you said this earlier, but just to reiterate, I think you're going to kind of up your streaming game here in the coming months on Twitch, right?
Yep, I've been really working hard on my alerts and my overlays and stuff. And actually, special announcement for any of those that are out there. I need to make this announcement in my Discord server. I'll be going live in September. Probably during the first week, I don't know. I'm still kind of getting a schedule set up, but that's pretty much it. So if you haven't already, you could drop me a follow right there. I really do appreciate that. For any of you guys that are actually listening, that'll be twitch.com/prestige or twitch.tv/PrestigeAce.
Very nice. Maybe depending on when the next tech preview is, maybe the first thing that he'll stream is Halo Tech Preview.
Who knows if I actually get into it?
Yeah. Definitely try getting into it. Well, I'm hoping that there's not going to be the connectivity debacle like there was this first time around. I would imagine not.
Yeah, hopefully they'll bring a few more servers online and be able to deal with the cascade or flood of requests.
And if I may, I would like to do the outro. So you just roll it over to me.
That's right.
Are you ready?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll say this again. Until next time.
Keep fragging your trucks.
That's not it.
It's close enough. Keep on fragging your...
Keep on fragging trucks.
Keep fragging trucks.
You're going to say, you have to say it right.
Maybe. Bye, everyone.